Waiting for YouTube to catch up. That's why I didn't do that. Whoops. All right. So we should be good now. Should hear myself talk any second now. That's why I didn't do that. Whoops. All right. There we go. All right. Righty. So let's get going here. This is the Answering Your Financial Questions live stream number 74 with Coach Steve Money. I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And it'll say in the ticker, if you want to schedule, to go to calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. Normally that's true, but the schedule is messed up on there. So until I have time to fix it, you can just email me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. More plugs. This is my channel. And you can scroll down past the Oak Island stuff, past the live streams, and there's answering your financial questions. So again, this is numbers 74, so 73 other one of those. Also some highlights in there as well. My music playlist that has 8 or 9 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, so give those a listen if you're so inclined. Also the Ramsey Show After Show, and there are 368 of those bad boys, and the next ones will be April 3rd and April 18th. That's a Wednesday and a Thursday. So let's get going with questions. Let's scroll on the right side of this subreddit, run by fans, not by Ramsey Solutions. If you'd like a group that's run by Ramsey Solutions, that would be on Facebook, the Ramsey Baby Steps Community is the name of that one. All right, so where we left off on the after show this past week, Born to See, 2 A's on it, struggling to effectively budget. All right, think this might be necessary to get the whole question. So let's see. Hi all, hey guys. I'm 33, no wife, no kids, and I own my own small business and make around $120,000 per year. My expenses are $4,200 per month, including debt repayment, $10K, credit card debt, and $13,250 business loan repayment, which of course is personal loan as well, because you're responsible for it. If I'm being honest, I've never been great with money, but my main goal this year is to really tighten things up after a deep dive into my finances in the start of the year. And I realized how much money I piss away. Okay. I think I can say that in the first 10 minutes and not get demonetized before I'm even monetized. My main issue is how inconsistent my income is. Somehow I always end up okay at the end of the year, but I'll have some really big months and then nothing for a while, then small months, then another big one, and so on, thus making it hard to set an actual budget. I read on Dave's website to set your budget to your lowest pay month if you have sporadic income, but that would be like under 1K, and that's not realistic. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. If you have months where you're not making 1K in your business, then you probably need to spend less time in that business. Because yeah, you're right. That is not realistic. That's not realistic for you. Now, you get some great months, it sounds like. So, I mean, that's if it's 120K a year. I wonder if that includes business expenses as well and business debt, but anyway, so that's $10,000 a month. So some of the other months you are doing great. So what you would do is put some of that extra, the time when you have extra, you wouldn't spend it like it's extra. You would not do that. You would, in fact, not even put it to debt like you think you would, because your first idea is to get on a budget, and part of that budget is to have enough for each month. So you would have to establish what's called a hill and valley fund. So if it's under 1K, then you got to count on that being the case in some months. If it's too much, then you don't know, like if it's a seasonal business, that kind of thing, and you know what month it's going to be, that would make it a lot easier. But you just, like, it could be any month. Well, I mean, in that case, you don't know when it could be 6 months in a row like that. And so that's not a great business, even though it can be expensive be sustainable in the long run. It's not sustainable now. But anyway, what that would be, the Hill and Valley Fund, which supplements when your income is lower, but you have to save that back, hold it back, and not even send it to debt repayment, because it's not extra past expenses that you'll have in a future month. And so hope that was clear. This is from Loki DFD. John Deloney has hit 1 million followers on Instagram. Just noticed Dr. John Deloney hit 1 million followers on Instagram, which now makes him, how about an S on the end of make? Makes him the most followed Ramsey personality, excluding Dave, who is on 4.5 million, right? By quite some margin. Rich Cruz is second with 638K. Come on, kids, it's not a race. His popularity has skyrocketed in the last year, and deservedly so. All right. John Deloney. That's in my music playlist, and so I do have a song about Mr. Deloney, and so congratulations to him for 1 million followers on the gram. Add him on the gram. Add all of them on the gram. Minnesota Botox says the amount of people spend on their vehicles is simply astounding. So you don't need the word of there. It's the amount that people would be a better one, or just the amount people spend on their vehicles. Simply astounding. Yeah, people spend a lot of money on cars. I am one of those net worth millionaires. Great. Maybe someday I'll upgrade vehicles, but since I have young children, I feel that's just not a good use of my money. Right. Why? If it's getting you from A to B, what's wrong with it? My 12-year-old paid for Civic, can get over 40 miles to a gallon sometimes, and it's super cheap to maintain. I'm constantly just floored with how much people spend on trucks, large SUVs, Teslas, anything remotely new. If you're rich, no judgment at all. Spend it however you like to. But if you're not, you're a fool. But keep it up, because I'll just buy your vehicle from you once it has depreciated. All right. That's an interesting take there from Minnesota Botox. Yeah, and that's basically it. People want a toy when you get like a hot rod car or something like that. That's a toy. And how much can you afford to spend on toys? Most of it, not that much. Finally sold my truck. It's vehicle hour on answering your financial questions. Finally sold my truck. Loan is officially of my debts. You mean off the debts, maybe? Everybody typing on their phone autocorrecting, I get it. Single car family until I pay off the rest of my debt and then can afford a vehicle with cash. Excellent. Much love and respect, everybody. Best of luck on your journey. Thank you so much. Same to you. That's from Whiskey Ejack. Alrighty. Did I make a mistake in paying off my oldest line of credit? No, if it's your smallest debt, that's when you're supposed to pay that off, regardless of how long you've had it. Hey, hi everyone. I had a student loan, which was my oldest line of credit by far, 9 years old. What is that in dog years? Or horse years? I kept it open for many years with a very low balance to maintain an exceptional credit score. I figured knowing that I could pay it off at any time was enough, and that paying the minimum was essentially the price of maintaining that exceptional credit score. And you got to play the bank's game if you care about a credit score. And that's why generally people following the Ramsey plan do not, because that is what Dave suggests, for you to not care about it because it's not necessary. All that the credit score will do is allow you to take out more money, and the only reason you should be getting a loan would be a mortgage for your residence, and you can get that with a little thing called manual underwriting. After hearing Dave talk about this, I went ahead and paid the loan off in full. Excellent. As it was my smallest balance. Excellent. It was not much, but it effectively cut my credit history in half, and I'm generally worried about my score dropping. Well, you can follow Dave's advice, or you can follow all the broke people saying, oh, you got to have a great credit score. Not legal advice. All right. No, not legal advice, Esquire. Okay. Student loan advice. This is not legal advice for me either. Student loan advice. My wife and I are 26, still babies, and we will collectively make $260,000 before taxes, and we collectively have $230,000 of student loans. $200K is mine, and $30K is hers. Come on, kids. It's not a race. It's from Jurassic Park. I am finishing grad school this May, and I have a job offer making $200K plus benefits. What should our strategy be for paying off our student loan debt? Finishing grad school this May, and maybe you look right to the right there and you follow the baby steps. That's what I'm going to suggest, and that you strategize. Your strategy should be to pay it off as fast as you can. You go through the baby steps as quickly as you can, obviously, and that means not spending money on anything else. Keep living like a broke college student, and that will get you there faster. Danger Del W. Are commercial student loans the same thing as private student loans? No, I don't think so. Well, maybe they are. My student loans are split up between federal loans at Nelnet and commercial loans at Sloan. Does commercial mean private? Yeah, I think that's actually, I've changed my mind on that. I think that's everything except the federal loans, meaning they'd never be eligible for any type of forgiveness. PSLF, 20 years, other. Yeah, no, if you go to a bank and you get a loan, even if it's for you to go to college, it's no different than any other loan to the bank. So that would be, of course, not eligible for any type of forgiveness. And even the ones that are eligible for a type of forgiveness, a lot of those are not getting forgiven. Truth. Neat bar 3092. Tapping into nest egg. Into is supposed to be one word. My wife and I make about $120,000 annually and have $27K in credit card debt since marriage. Marriage is what we are here for. Last fall. Since combining incomes accounts, we've been picking off debts vis-a-vis the baby steps. I think that's VIE. The baby steps to the tune of about $6,000 so far since mid-November. All right. I expect my income about 120K. 6K is all you can do. I expect my income to increase in the next 2 years, already having expenses based on that income, not what you're making now, substantially when I get licensed and can engage in private practice. And that, my friend, is going to be an if. That doesn't happen for everybody. So that's a big if, not when I get licensed and can engage in private practice. May never happen. And you got to consider that when you are taking out dumb student loans. We're both mental health therapists. I like our current trajectory. I'm sure you do when you're already planning to be already licensed and engaged in private practice. One more layer, we have a nest egg of about $96,000 invested in mutual funds that came as an inheritance from my grandmother. That is gone to pay the debt, or at least enough to pay the debt off, the credit card debt. It doesn't say if you have any other debt, like student loans, for example. So he likes watching that chunk of probably money doing something, making interest or something like that. Yeah, if that's not in a retirement account, if it's just in a standard brokerage account where you'll just get taxed on the growth of it, the capital gains of it, and that of course is only what you take out. If all you have is $27,000, then you should take that and you'll still have $69,000 left in there. And so yes, you should do that and pay off that debt. And if you have other debt, it should be applied to that debt. About $120,000 annually in November, December, January, February, March. That's 5 months, babe. That's $1,100 a month is all you can do. Must have some crazy, maybe too much house and too many expenses. Revisit the budget, and cut some stuff out of there. DP1024FJ, 0% annual percentage rate. Update. Wow, so much great feedback. Thanks, everyone. I decided to pay off the card this morning. Excellent. Now that one is off my brain. Thanks again. Forgive me if this question has been asked before. My family has a great income. The only debt we have is one credit card with a 0% APR that will expire in October of this year. Is this the same thing as last time? Everything everybody told you isn't any different than that card, unless this is the rest of the maybe he just copied and pasted his previous question. That's what I hope it is. Let's see, does it make sense to pay off the credit card earlier? Yeah, I'm guessing. Let the tax refund sit in our account. Yeah. And also change your withholding so you don't get a big refund, so that you have that money throughout the year, because you can do much more better with that money yourself than give the government an interest-free loan. Top comment, 2397. Time to buy a newer car. If the other one is working, why? Let's see. We are a family. Let's see, War and Peace here in the amount of story. A lot of stuff that doesn't matter in here. Important to me to give my two boys a head start with cars, and they will be responsible for everything else with the car. All right, let's see what we're doing here. I'll hold judgment. Let me hold judgment. Judgment in my hand. Holding it. Holding it. Holding it. All right, let's see. So we are a family of 5. Me and my wife, we own 2 cars, and that's all you need. A 16 Subaru Impreza, I think, that I put about 20K plus miles a year. Currently has 134K miles. Okay, that's great. If they're a 14 Pilot, those are both way newer than my car. Which point? And she also puts about the same 20K plus miles on a year. Both cars are paid for now. Great. Impreza, Kelly Blue Book, Pilot, Kelly Blue Book. For now, Impreza gets about 30 miles per gallon, while the Pilot gets barely 20 miles per gallon. We drive both to work, so both are driven daily. Now my oldest is 12 years old, and I was planning to give him my Subaru once he turns 16. That's 4 years from now. But with 20K plus yearly, I don't think it will really last, and he won't have enough life in it to drive it. How has it been the last 4 years? Has it really deteriorated that much in the last 4 years? So I was thinking to trade it in for a newer, less mileage one that will have enough life in for him to drive. Now my second oldest is 11, and he will need to have the same. Need is the operative phrase there. And so no, you don't need any particular car, and neither do they, especially they don't. So I was thinking to also trade in my wife's and do the same thing, or help him with a down payment, no car loans. Are you new to Ramsey? And somehow make it even for him, as I will give his brother a car. That's right, it has to be in absolutely even. I hate to have another car payment. Then don't get one. Dumb. But I might have to have 2 car payments. You don't have to do anything. You don't need anything that you don't need, and you don't have to do anything. Frowny face. I can't afford to buy without financing. Then you don't buy it, is the Ramsey advice. As I'm still building the emergency fund and my investment portfolio, and you shouldn't be doing that crap either. You get the full emergency fund first before you're investing at all. You, sir, are doing it wrong. If you look right here, there's the baby steps in order. Baby step 1, 2, and 3, one at a time. Save $1,000 as fast as possible. Step 2, pay off all debts from smallest to largest using the debt snowball method, which is smallest to largest. And step 3, grow your $1,000 savings into 3 to 6 months of living expenses for your fully funded emergency fund. And that is what happens one at a time in order. Now then, once you get done with that, then you do 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time, and that's when you start investing. So, I mean, you're just doing what you want to do, so why ask anybody? Why not just do what you want to do? I don't get it. But it looks like if I wait, I may have to buy 3 cars at least by the time everyone needs a car. You don't have to furnish a car to your children. You know, you don't have to. You do not have to. My son worked. And he eventually bought his own car. He had rides to there. And yes, that may inconvenience you, but then you don't have a freaking car payment like you said you hate to have. So you got to make up your mind if you want to do this stuff or not. Important to give my new boys a head start with cars, and they will be responsible for everything else with the car. You know what will help them out is if you take care of your finances more by not getting not even 1 freaking car loan, much less 3. To shed some light on, we both make about $200,000 a year plus combined. House payment of around $3,800. $200K. I think that's fine, isn't it? So let's see if we break that down, that's going to be what, 150. So 150 is 300, 400. No, 150 and 150 is 375. Yes. 375 house, so probably they got too much house as well. Live in the Midwest, relatively low cost of living area. Then where, my friend, is all your money? So again, budget, no loans is the advice. Investment advice, conscious brief, 7966. I'm in high school and started a landscape company. Excellent. I bring in about $5,500 a month with about $2,500 going to taxes, employees, and living expenses. So about $3,000 left over. In high school, and you have that much living expenses, and you have employees even. I mean, that's still a $3,000, but you still got to figure, what you're paying in for gas, if that doesn't include the gas, and so forth. And so I would want to know what this is net for this high schooler. So about $3,000 left over. I plan on maxing out my Roth in about 2.5 months. After that, I'm lost. Advice. Well, any high schooler, any teenager, the advice is just to pile up cash. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to start investing now. But the advice is just to pile up cash until you graduate debt-free. So no student loans involved with that. And even if you're not going to college, if you're going to trade school, advice would be the same. If you just need money to move out of your parents' house and into your own living situation, then you would use money for that. Or say you're one of 3 kids and your dad somehow can't afford to buy you a cash car, one at a time in different years. So yeah. So the advice is the advice for a reason. And it works. Millions of documented success stories. SF Miners. 49. San Francisco Miners. Like the 49ers. New car. No. Unless you're a millionaire, you do not get a new car. Any cars have to be paid for in cash. And even if you have the cash to buy it, unless you're a millionaire, you can't handle the depreciation on it. It's depreciating asset. Too much in depreciating assets. Hey guys, I would like your opinions on my situation. I need a new car. I'll be the judge of that. Currently, I don't have one. Well, that might be it. I'm driving my mom's Infiniti to work, which is okay, but she's going to need it back. All right. Well, why can she be without it now? Maybe you can buy that from her and then give her rides if she's not needing to go somewhere that long for that often. My financial situation, no debts, make $240K before taxes, $160K after. I'm saving for a house, so I live at my parents' house. Well, if you're saving for a house, but you need a car, you can divert that house money to buying a car. It doesn't have to be new, though. It can be new to you, but buy a used car. Or save that up out of your $240K before taxes. $160K, government do take a bite. San Francisco, so California, Taxifornia will get you. Is there more? Let's see if there's more. Because he dotted at the end. No, it automatically did. Okay, what else? Have 30K in ETFs. 3K in crypto. If that is not in a retirement account, that's going out to buy yourself a freaking car. I have 20K in a high yield savings account, 10K in cash checkings. I'm assuming the 20K and also the 10K, maybe part of it, who knows, is to buy a house. But let's see, you may ask yourself how I make so much with so little saved. Yes. Well, I paid off all of my student loans. That part is excellent. My work situation, I drive 308 miles a week, soon to be 462 miles round trip combined weekly. That's too much. You are putting your mom's Infiniti through the ringer, sir. I want to go for an electric vehicle. Here's the reasons. There's free charging at work, so I'll plug it in during my 6-hour shift. If they put a vending machine there, you don't have to buy stuff out of it just because it's at work. Not a good excuse. I can charge it at home. I live in my parents' house. You said, sir. What do I want? That's a good question. Well, you guys might call me an idiot. I wouldn't go that far. Normal. But I want a 3-year-old Taycan. I don't know why. Why? A big motivation for going sleepless many nights studying was to buy myself a nice car. Well, I would wait until you move out of your parents' house to buy a nice car. Get a car that will run now. And plan to pay half and finance the other half and pay the other half in big chunks, maybe 2K at a time. All right, the car I want has already dropped half in value, so I think I'll get a good deal. What do you guys think of my situation? What would you do? You get to do what you want. It's your life and your money. Doesn't seem like you're interested in Mr. Ramsey's advice. Important youth 6942. Help! Exclamation point. Hello, I'm currently 25 years old, just a baby. I dropped out of nursing school to do cybersecurity. Hopefully don't have any nursing school loans. I used to have a business making me 6 to 8K a month, but I stopped my business to finish school. I will be starting my first cybersecurity job, which is $125K yearly, but it won't be until this summer. Hopefully nothing going wrong with school, and so that can happen. But people always plan on that like, oh, that's definitely going to happen, and no, it's not until you have that degree. It might not happen. I currently still work at a hospital making $51K a year. Okay, great. I currently have a car, which I owe $34K on, which is $744 a month. $744 a month. Listen, car people, I need a car, people. $744 a month. I have credit card debt of $7,000. Those are my only debts. My monthly expenses come to $2,000 a month. $400 on food. $100 a week is a lot for one 25-year-old. $100 a week is a lot. Cut it back. $240 on gas. Where are you driving to? That is crazy. People must love to run the road and stuff. Joyriding and such. Joy eating too, probably. Gosh. $744 again on the car note. $40 haircut. I mean, that one I can let go. That's reasonable for female. Can't just go into the great clips. I guess you could, but that's still going to be $30 probably. $250 on courses and subscriptions. Courses and subscriptions. So what courses? You don't need to be doing any courses except cybersecurity right now and paying off your freaking debt. What subscriptions? So if there is the same thing, I'll have to look at the rest of it to see if there's any other dumb stuff in the budget. Where are our subscriptions? $100 a month on credit card payments. Phone bill, $162, probably financed through the bill. So again, dumb. After taxes, I make $3,100. So let's see what you got. So it's $2,000 a month. This person added up for us. So that's $1,100 extra. Why isn't the debt going away? Plan on moving out come August once I save some money. Moving out of where? Parents again? Once I save some money, 3 to 6 months of expenses these next 5 months. That's not how that works. It's $1,000 until all your debt is paid off. So you're planning on doing it wrong, is what you're planning on. If my math is correct, my monthly expenses once I move out will be a total of $4,000 a month. I currently only have $1,000. That's all you should have. I plan on working my cyber job, which is remote, and my hospital job, which is at night, 3 to 4 days a week before I move out. I believe I can do this for 3 months, which will make my monthly income about $10K a month. Is there any tips? Are there any tips or advice you can give me? I would greatly appreciate any feedback. Well, again, you're not doing the Ramsey method, which is to have $1,000 in savings, and that's it until all of your debt is gone. And of course, you're talking about moving out. I would assume that's with living with parents. And so, yeah, I mean, if you can't handle your expenses now, supposedly with $1,100 extra a month, how are you going to handle the expenses when they doubling it? So, I mean, granted, making more money, you're saying that's just what you're making now. You will be making more money, and so hopefully that will take care of it. But if you handle money after you start making more money doing cybersecurity, if you handle it the same way, you're going to be in trouble, girl. Or man. It might be a man. Men's can be nurses too. Almost done with car loan. Where should I invest? This episode of Answering Your Financial Questions Live is brought to you by Crinkly Water Bottle. Almost done with car loan. Where should I invest? Simmer down. Time out. Throwing the flag too. Why not? Hello, everyone. I'm about to be done with my car loan. That's a good thing. And I was wondering how I should invest the money that I've been putting towards my car loan. Oh, I don't know. Maybe other baby steps other than investing. Is that the only debt? Gross salary, $120,000. So again, what is the dealio? Pre-tax deductions, health insurance, $118,889. Is he subtracting them as they go along? I don't know what he's doing there. Net salary 80. Okay, so net salary 86,000.7. 86.7 thousand. The Roth. So he's already putting money in the Roth. You would max that out per year. Employers match 401k. So if you don't have, let's find out. Let's click on it, open the whole question and find out if he has, does the giving 10.2%. In my mind, there are 3 options. Put them toward Roth 401k and increase my contributions to 15%. Yeah, that's fine. Or put them in the Roth IRA. It depends on what kind of returns you're getting in the Roth 401k. Whether your own personal Roth would be better. If you're making more in your own Roth 401 or your own Roth IRA personal account, I would put it in that, but that depends. Put them towards savings. You would do that if you don't have a full emergency fund. Let's see, currently renting at $14K annually. He thinks he has everything in years. And that is fine since you do everything like that, but the problem is then you can't handle something if something's only a month expense. And so you should think about it all the ways. I've been thinking about getting my first home, although I don't know if I'm ready for that or should I, because I don't know if I'm going to stay in the USA more than 6 to 7 years. Don't buy a house then. That would be dumb. Also, in the case is of any help, I have 80K in ETFs, an emergency fund for 6 months right now. Okay, so you're doing it wrong because that car should be paid off before you have a full emergency fund. So all the people doing it wrong, they never understand. They never get it. I mean, does Dave have to put in there, don't do anything else until you get done with this step? Does it have to say that? All right, every dollar from the UK. Doesn't even know if there's a way I can get every dollar in the UK. You can use the website one. You might have to like do a VPN or something like that, or have a, I don't know, have somebody if you have a friend in America, open the account for you, something like that. But generally, that particular app probably not gonna work on your phone because you wouldn't be able to download it yourself. But you could log in to the website, possibly. Mud Creeks, baby step 2, anxiety. And also, if you're not paying for it, you don't get the bank connection. Baby step 2, anxiety. Now, why would you be? You should be more anxious of the debt than paying it off. Anyone else an oil field worker or seasonal worker where your income isn't consistent enough to just have $1,000 while throwing everything at debt? Well, it should be enough for the whole year. So if it's a seasonal worker, guess what you're going to do in the other parts of the year? You're going to work another job. I've got $20,000 in savings between me and my wife, which is about 4 months of emergency funds. If you have debt, you're doing it wrong. $1,000. You said you just can't have $1,000 while throwing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so he's got a Hill and Valley fund that's combined with his emergency fund, and you should not do that either, because then you start thinking, well, I need this for expenses, so I'll just take it out of my emergency fund. That's not what you want to do. You want to have the $1,000 emergency fund there, and then the rest of it can be, if you need that much, 3 months of expenses, or depending on however much over the $1,000 you have. You need a Hill and Valley account for that. I really want to throw some of it at our debt, but working in the oil field, you could be out of paycheck for weeks. Yep. And so why not do part-time work somewhere? Do part-time work, do temp jobs, whatever you can do, instead of staying at home where you're waiting for the oil field to call you back. $1,000 won't get us from one project to the next at all. That's it. Hill and Valley account. Should I just maybe keep $5,000 in savings and throw the $15,000 at the debt? $43,000 in debt. I made great money. Should have it paid off by the end of the year. Yeah, you just need to have it. I mean, it could even be fine the way you're doing it. I just don't want anybody to get used to, if they have an expense, taking it out of the emergency fund. So I would separate those. But other than that, it seems like it might be fine. Lancer 10 seconds. Selling EV, another electric vehicle, after the tax credit. Oh, he's trying to get one over on the government. I make $50K a year, $35K in student loans, $10K on a credit card. I recently purchased a used Tesla Model 3 a little over a month ago. Absolutely love the car, but she's got to go. Why? Why not just keep it? What's the problem? It was originally $24K, and I got the EV used tax credit right off the bat and paid $20K. So you did all of that crap for $4,000? I recently took a look at my life and said, what the heck am I doing? Because I'm doing this kind of crap for $4K. Let's see, and I'm fired up to get out of debt quickly. Well, that part is great if you've had your come to Jesus moment. That's great. So what's the dealio? All this to say, I took a look at the IRS rules, and that is a good idea to do when you are using tax credit for anything. That is a good idea to take a look at it. It says to qualify, I had to purchase it for personal use and not for resale. Would selling it now bring any red flags to the IRS? Yes. Yes, it would. Due interest 920, more for retirement or more for the house? 15% to retirement until the house is paid off. The baby steps are pretty clear. Actually, it doesn't say that as far as the percentages though, so maybe people don't understand because it doesn't say just do 15% until the house is paid off. It should say that in baby step 4. Should get the extended edition of the baby steps. It won't be as clean a graphic, but I mean, that's the way it goes. A lot of people misunderstand, apparently, or they're just trying to do their own thing, which, again, they don't need to run it through the Dave Ramsey subreddit. They don't need to call Dave to ask him if he is fine with them doing loans and such, because he won't be. You're not going to be the first where he says, okay. We currently contribute about $1,700 a month into our retirement accounts. I may have took the savings a bit too far. I don't think that was a typo. As we have about $30K in the account, you're doing it wrong. Which is enough for a little less than a year of our expenses. Yeah. Let's see. It says grow your $1,000 savings into 3 to 6 months of living expenses for your fully funded emergency fund. That's baby step 3. It does not say, well, if you want to go overboard, do a little less than a year of it. Doesn't say do that. You're not supposed to have more than 6 months of liquid cash. You're not supposed to have more than 6 months at most of living expenses while you still have other baby steps to do, which is the investing and paying off the house early, and not to mention kid college, if that is applicable. Only does the house, which we owe about $250K on. After all is said and done, we're usually left with $3 to $5K in our budget each month, depending on amount of checks, extra hours. Well, that's great. Yeah, you're doing it wrong. I mean, it's great that you don't have any other debt. That's fabulous. You're not afraid to save money. That's fabulous too. But that extra liquid cash is not helping you. And as a matter of fact, by having it there now it's going to hurt you to take it out of there. Not financially, but it's going to hurt you emotionally because you're going to sleep at night thinking, I got about less than a year of our expenses. And so now when you try to follow Mr. Ramsey's advice and pay the house off early, which puts you in a much better financial situation, then you're gonna feel bad about it. Hope you don't lose any sleep. Suitable rest, 1358. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6 flare. And that is correct because 4, 5, and 6 are done all at the same time. Still in order, but all at the same time. So basically, during the entire the entire baby steps, entirety of the baby steps, you use the debt snowball amount. And basically that is whatever is left over out of your necessities to buy each month and putting it towards the baby steps. And so once you get to baby step 4, you don't have any more debt. You're not saving a full emergency fund anymore. And so you have the snowball still left over. And what you do with it is you invest 15% of gross income. If you have kids, you address kid college so that they have enough, the amount that you want them to have by the time they're 18. When they go to college, and anything left over after that one gets put extra to the house. Let's see. Suitable rest. Do people really buy cars to impress people we really don't like? Yeah, it happens. To impress like just anybody. That can happen. It can be to impress one certain person. Who knows? But yeah, people buy cars for a bunch of dumb reasons. And yeah, to impress people, like it does, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It does not matter what anybody thinks about your financial decisions. They do not get a vote. Inspector Norse, 8900. New here, trying to figure things out. I recently took a personal loan to clear out my credit card debt, and it's been an amazing feeling. What? While the debt is still there, yes, that's why you don't move it around, because that means you're trying to, that may make you feel like you're doing something and you're just moving around. The monthly is less than all my card minimums were, which has allowed me to save over $1,000 finally. You could have done it without doing that. Better late than never, as I turn 38 next month. That's still lower than some people. I have 3 major debts now. House with my wife with about $190K left and $110 equity. Car payment is underwater, $30. $530, excuse me, per month. With $26K roughly left to sell the car. And then this personal loan at $680 a month. And guess what? They charged you for that. Somehow they will get their money back for it. You're not going to hurt them on the interest and such. So as a father of 3, I make $60K, hoping for a raise soonish, and my wife makes $65K. I had, here we go with the word again, had, let's see, need and had. I had to use the cleared credit cards for dental emergencies, had to. But the balances are low enough to cover and still put away $50 per check. Now, last time I heard, medical institutions, even dentists, will allow you to make payments to them so you do not have to take out a credit card. I enjoy seeing my savings account grow, but I worry that since I'm behind in the savings game, that I am not maxing my opportunities. That shouldn't be happening at all. You're paying off debt. With bills and my debts, I'm still able to have my kids have fun and save. They shouldn't be having that much fun. But I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. Digesting some of the new financial information I've taken an interest in lately has been difficult, so advice is greatly welcome. Well, you're doing it wrong. Is it wise to keep saving while having debt payments each month? Does the baby steps say to keep saving while paying off debts from smallest to largest? It does not. You're doing it wrong. Everything you're doing here is bad. I want to tell you this. That's from Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbusters 4 in theaters now, I think. That would be Frozen Empire. Should I wait to put my money in an IRA until I have 3 months saved? If you have a family and a father of 3 and you have kids, you would do the 6 months before you start investing. But again, that is after you have all your debt paid off. So no retirement. So you're doing it wrong. So you're new here. Give you a break on that, I guess. But you need to learn how it works. You're doing it wrong. When you're using higher yield savings, which you wouldn't be doing for a while, how do I make them grow, or should I wait before processing that information? Higher yield savings, you just put the money in there and it gets interest. There's no tricks. Are there any tips or tricks when it comes to growing money that I should be thinking about? Yes, the baby steps in order, the way it's written is what you should be thinking about. So, all right, choose funds for IRA. Fitwall 5491. Hey everyone, hi guys. I recently opened a Roth and want to know, how do you guys choose them? I'm trying to look at mutual funds with low expense ratio. You don't chase low expense ratios or dividends or any other crap. You chase the overall highest return is what you look at. So it doesn't matter if you pay less than 1% than an index fund if you get a managed fund that beats it and makes 7, 8, 9, 10% more over the year. I think it can cover the expense ratio difference, my friend. But I also see management fees. If the expense ratio is 0.05%, that's nothing. And the management fee is 0.05%. That's 0.1% still. So I think you can handle it if you even make 2% more than the index does. As well as that means I will pay a total of 0.1% of my entire holding per year. For each year. Yeah. But if you're making 2% and you're paying 0.1, that is not that much of that. You still get the, if say it made 2% more, then this index fund that generally are the ones that have the low expense ratios. And so you make 2% more than that, you still have 1.9%, which is still more, 1.9% more than the index fund with the low expense ratio. I don't know why people can't understand that. What do they think expense ratios are? Are some of them like 5 and 6%? If that was it, no, they are very, very low, under 1%. Appointment popular. 10. Baby steps, adjusting for pending unemployment. How should I adjust the baby steps if I know I'm going to get laid off in July? If you know you're going to get laid off in July, what is it? You could go a little while longer with, currently my paycheck is paying minimum payments all across all my credit cards and loans, one of which somewhat predatory, meaning the minimum payments barely causes the balance to stay and it won't go down. Guess who signed up for that one? That was you. I have no savings. Edit, I'm basically not sure how to prioritize debt versus savings. On the chance I won't find another job for a while, that's not an option. I got a great idea. Look for a job right now and then you quit instead of getting laid off. How about that? That would be an excellent idea. Cautious Dog 671, to buy or to rent. Here's the deal. I'm about to make a big move and I'm considering buying over renting in Texas. Buying at 7% is worrisome. Then why are you considering doing that then, sir? It's just insane with how much goes to interest, I guess, and not to the principal of the property. I feel like I'm my life. What? I'm past renting. Oh, maybe in my life I'm past renting. No, you're not. You can rent just fine, no matter how old you are. Family of 5 with 2 dogs and an RV. Sell the RV. You can sell the dogs as well if you want to, if they're a problem. I have no debt. I've saved $100K for the house. Should I buy or rent? Please advise. If you don't have any debt at all and you want to take out a mortgage, you can certainly do that. You may need to save up more depending on where in Texas you want to buy. And make sure you've lived there already. So if you're in another state now and you're moving to Texas, rent for a year in Texas to see if you like it before you commit to buying a house there. If you already know you like Texas, I know you're going to stay in Texas, and it's like the next town over or even in the same town that you are in, then just save up enough down payment so that your mortgage falls into Mr. Ramsey's guidelines, which would be a 15-year fixed rate mortgage. And then your payments need to be on that 15-year fixed 25% of your take-home pay. And so if it's not, then you need to save more down payment to get it down to that level. Otherwise, you're house poor. And he does not advise you being house poor. Whole life insurance, that's no. The answer is just no. Advanced Start 8068. I know it's terrible. Yep, good job. Good job. How do I inform my wealthy friend who drank the Kool-Aid? Kool-Aid is a brand name. It's spelled with a K. That it's the worst investment he could have made? Show him a Dave Ramsey video on it. I don't know. Or just tell him. Just tell him what you know about it. And that's it. And then you walk away and let him decide what he wants to do about it. You can just lead the horse to water. You can't make him drink. Not even the Kool-Aid. Has anybody ever been in a similar situation? Sure, all the time. His CFA hit me up, certified financial accountant, hit me up, and while talking to me, asking for my girlfriend's number so he could talk to her too. He's young and probably just starting, but language. At least just to try to be discreet as you attempt to swindle me and my friend's family. Well, I mean, the certified financial accountant can hit you up. I'm assuming he got the number probably from your wealthy friend without your permission to do that. And so I would say don't call me anymore to that person. And of course, you didn't give him your girlfriend's number. Yeah. So yeah, they're just, I mean, that's how it has to be. It has to be friends selling it to, friends, family members, etc. And why would you do that to your friend? These people know what is wrong with it. They just know how much money it makes for them, and that's all they care about. Skate Up Dog, where do I go from here? Looking to continue to build wealth. Hi, thank you. If you read all of this, 12 years ago, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I have grinded out some wealth. Is it grinded or ground? I think it's ground. But unsure of what to do next. Current status. 43 years old, single, no kids, income, about 100K average take home. House, 2013 purchase, worth 260K, 130 equals 130 equity, okay. You get that house paid off. You invest 15%. See, it's not difficult. It's the same for everybody. And I know, especially today, people don't like that. They want to be special and, have their own, and they want to be the exception. But it doesn't work like that. Baby steps don't work like that. It's always the same. You would, as far as building wealth further, no kids. It doesn't say any debt either. But do they have not a part of it that got deleted? Let's make sure. Yeah, okay. Apartment rent, $2,000 a month, but seeking roommate to cut down to $1,000. Okay. Whoa. Here's where I got out because it's dumb. Are you renting the house out? You're renting the house out and you are paying rent in an apartment. and then you're going to get a roommate to do that. Why would you do not get a mortgage on a rental property? So you're doing it wrong. So paid off car, Tundra, very nice. No debt. Well, that's except for the house. And if it's a rental property, that's baby step 2, dog. Unless you're living in it. Investments, $318,000, $250K brokerage. Hey, look, I can pay off that rental. And then I won't be doing dumb stuff. So there you go. Goals, personality, doesn't matter. I don't like owning a house. Wish I never bought it, but it's brought me equity. Move around a lot. I want to start being more liquid. Yeah, so definitely buy a house somewhere then. I currently live 4 states away from this property. Tenant can barely afford payments and is sometimes late. Yeah, if you didn't get in the rental game, you wouldn't have to deal with that. Doing it wrong. I haven't been able to increase the rent because tenant doesn't respond to certified letters or anything. Yeah, if you didn't get a rental house, get a mortgage on a rental house, then you wouldn't have to deal with that. I should probably go up there, evict her, and put a new tenant in. And you sure you're going to be able to get a good tenant? Or even one at all? And paying $2,000 a month? Or sell? How about just sell it? I just haven't had the time. And right, you don't have so if you don't have the time to deal with the rental house, why do you have a rental house? Doing it wrong. When my dad passes, I expect to see about $2 million. Well, that's got nothing to do with right now, dude. But I do not want to depend on that. So don't. A goal I've been thinking about is get to 2-3 million and live off the dividends. Again, that's doing it wrong. You don't want to live off dividends. You want to live off the overall return. Realistically, my current spend is about $40K a year. I want to buy an $80,000 per Porsche. If you sell the investment property, you will get maybe $130K after realtors get a hold of some of it and so forth. Maybe $100K, and then you would have enough to buy the car in cash, which that's fine, but not $80,000, not a new car, not unless you're a millionaire, which you're not. Normally very frugal and don't make stupid unneeded purchases, except an $80,000 Porsche. Please someone talk me out of this, LOL. If you're going to be dumb, if you want to be dumb, well, you're probably going to be dumb. How old? 43 years old. Should know better. House, do me sell a house to save on PMI and get the equity out. Yes. Do I pull the equity out of my own? No, you do not further go in debt on the house. Do it to start up an LLC. For what? How can I leverage an LLC? Everything you're doing here is bad. Side hustle, creating a small fleet of turbo car rental starting with my truck. Side hustle, buying out and renting. No, you don't do any of that stuff. You build businesses at the speed of cash. How can I leverage? We don't do that. So you're on your own, pal. I don't know how these people find their way to the Ramsey subreddit. Maybe they're trolling. Who knows? Who knows? Alright. So I guess we'll finish up for today. We'll do Help Me Decide tomorrow. What is it? Pay. I don't know what they're trying to decide from. Oh, between houses maybe. Alright, we'll get into that tomorrow. Alrighty, once again, I am Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. If you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money usually, but right now the schedule's screwed up on there and I gotta have time to fix it. So for now, just email me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. You can also use that email for anything else on my YouTube channel. Or coaching or anything else, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Channel donations, go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can have me on the gram at CoachSteveMoney. And of course, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. Thank you so much for watching.